Good morning. Good morning, CSL. It's very light in here. Hi. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everyone who's here. Good morning, everyone viewing us online. Good morning to those who will be watching the recording. I'm Reverend Tina Miggs, and I'm so grateful, honored, and joy-filled to have this opportunity to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, Fort Lauderdale. So, if you cannot be in the room with us, there are 3 ways in which you can join our community. And that is through Facebook Live, through YouTube, or going to our website at www.cslftl.org and just clicking that live stream button. So, welcome to all of our first-time guests. Anybody who's a first-time guest here, we're so grateful that you chose us to check out on this day, that we are opening our doors and our hearts, that we are the living embodiments of the loving sanctuary of this space and place, and we are so grateful that you've come to see us on this day. And if you haven't already, I encourage you after service to go to guest services and fill out a little form. Let us know all of your information. You can get our newsletter, and we can keep you up to date of all the amazing happenings that are happening here at CSL Fort Lauderdale. And we have a gift for you, a beautiful gift of mala beads that you can use in your spiritual practice. You can adorn yourself as jewelry, and you can use them however you choose. We do have a few announcements today, just a couple, not too many. We have a wonderful summer prosperity program that's starting in just 2 weeks with Dr. John Waterhouse, and he's here to tell you just a little bit more about that.
Just a little bit. I do want to tell you that the room is lighter because we replaced all of the house lights because the Fort Lauderdale Symphony required it for their rental of this space, and it's really working out. I can see you guys in the back. All right, fantastic. Okay, my class. I've been doing this for about 25 years, a summer prosperity series where we really focus in on how we create successful living. How do we do that? What are the steps? So that's what we're going to call the summer's class, is 20 secrets to a successful life. And because of that, we are offering this class without a registration fee. Yes, I know. That doesn't mean it's a free class. What it means is that it takes nothing to get into the class, which means you can come to one class or you can come to all 8 classes. You can do it any way that you want. At the end of every class, I will take an offering, much like we do here on Sunday. And that's how you will contribute based on your experience. And that's what we want to do. So I encourage you not only to come, but to bring some friends to check this thing out. In North Carolina, this was the most popular thing that we did. In the middle of the summer and all of that heat and all of the vacations and everything else that was going on, people came and we filled our sanctuary with people that wanted to know what we knew. We became known as the Prosperity Church of North Carolina. And that will happen here as well. So I'm really encouraging you to bring some friends and to come and be a part of this and have a good time, 6:30 to 8:30 on Monday nights in July and August. Also, I want to tell you that one thing that the board is still working on is the election of 2 additional board members. We had 2 members that completed their terms as of our annual membership meeting, so those 2 terms have to be filled. If you're interested, there are applications at guest services. You can fill one out and get it to us this week, and the board will be acting on that and bringing forth a time when we can vote to fill our board with those 2 positions. Anything? I think that's me, isn't it? Okay, I'm out of here.
How wonderful. I'm going to be at the prosperity class because I'm in any more flow of abundance and prosperity coming into my life. I'm going to participate in that. How about you? Anyone else going to join us? Yeah? All right. Beautiful. One more announcement today. Every 4th Sunday of the month, the Wisdom Circle meets. So they are meeting today at noon in the community room. after service. Today they have a wonderful presenter, our beloved Eric Shelley, a practitioner. He's going to be there presenting. His topic is Be Calm and Remain Physically and Mentally Fit. A couple of the things he'll be bringing up into this presentation is the body of God, mindfulness, love, and forgiveness. So it's going to be a wonderful space and place to enjoy and commune with our community members today. So here at CSL, we have an intention statement, and it says who we are and what we want to be in this world. So I just invite, if you can stand, to please stand, and we will say this statement together. And afterwards, please greet your guest all around you. Greet the community. Greet the first-time guests. A hello, a handshake, a hug, a namaste, whatever you're comfortable with. Just eye contact and a smile. It all goes a very long way. So CSL, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
Yeah. All right. Know with me that Spirit is in this place. that Spirit, that presence dwells within each of us. It is whole, it is perfect, it is complete in every way. It is the essence of who we are. It is the truth of who we are. So this day, we awaken that within us. We remember the truth, and we live from that truth in every action we take, every thought we have, in all the aspects of our lives. And what happens is that life keeps getting better and better. This is the truth of us. We let it be in gratitude and love, and so it is.
Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit.
All right, you guys got the melody now? All right, sing along with us. Here we go.
Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me.
Let me hear you.
Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh.
Very nice.
Wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Wonderful Spirit.
Good morning, CSL. My name is Juan Carlos Sequeira. I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center, and I'm very grateful and honored to be here this morning. The Center for Spiritual Living Fort Lauderdale is guided by 7 core values, and they are love, healing, oneness, abundance, spiritual growth, service, and diversity. Each week, we highlight one of these values so that we can keep its meaning fresh in our minds. And today, our focus is on the core value, abundance. The ancient Chinese philosopher and mystic Lao Tzu once said, "When you realize there's nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." When you realize there's nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. To me, this statement reflects the consciousness of abundance, which is what we're talking about. I didn't always understand what a consciousness of abundance meant, what that was all about. And even now, I understand it. I still have to practice it regularly. Right? It takes some work to live it, to know it. When I first started taking meditation classes, and I was just starting my meditation practice, one of my meditation teachers would often say, as he was guiding us through meditation, he would say, just sit and rest in the knowing and the feeling tone of all needs met. And so I did that. I sat and contemplated, and what does that feel like? All needs met. What does that feel like? What does that mean to me? And through my practice and my study, over time, I realized that our teachings say there's only one source and one supply, one God, one power, one presence, one energy, and it's everywhere, omnipresent, which means that it's within me. God is all there is. God is the source and supply of all abundance. And if God is omnipresent, that means the source and supply of all things, of all abundance, is within me also. And so I was developing this consciousness of abundance. And if any of you saw my talk last week, I talked a lot about how the universal law then corresponds with our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. So as we focus and build our consciousness of abundance, the universe corresponds with that. And I'll give you an example of how this worked in our lives. When we first moved here in 2019, we'd sold our house in LA. We moved here with 5 dogs. We had to put our 5 dogs in a boarding kennel, and we didn't have a house yet. And so we were staying with Tina's parents, my in-laws. And we were looking everywhere from Jupiter down to Hollywood. We were looking for houses. And we looked at over 100 houses. It was taking a lot of time, just daily looking. And it was starting to get stressful. And we were, starting to have these feelings of stress, fear, doubt, worry, and yes, lack. Maybe we won't find a house. Maybe we won't find the right house. Maybe we'll have to settle for something else. But we would catch ourselves and we realize, okay, we need to practice what we preach. We need to practice what we've learned, this consciousness of abundance. So we created a little mantra for ourselves. And the mantra went like this. We are manifesting the perfect house at the perfect price at the perfect time. And we said it over and over again, especially when we felt ourselves getting anxious or nervous. So lo and behold, we were out one day looking. This is like 6 weeks into looking for a home. We were driving around Pompano Beach, and we were done for the day. And we were like, all right, let's go home. So I started driving, and then a friend of ours called us, and this is very synchronous because she's also a spiritual practitioner. So she called us, and she was just seeing how everything was going, and she was encouraging us. Oh, don't worry, it's all going to work out, the consciousness of abundance, right? And while we were talking to her, because we were on the phone, I couldn't put in Google Maps. I didn't know how to get back to where we were going. So I literally just stopped at a stop sign. And there was no traffic, there was no one on the road. So I just sat there waiting while we were talking so I can get directions. And as we were talking to our friend Deborah, Tina taps me and she's like, look out there. So I lean forward and I look forward, and next to the stop sign on the floor, on the ground, there's a sign that says, "For sale by owner." And it's the house right next to the stop sign. And we're like, okay, so we back up, we pull in, we get off the phone, the guy's number's on there, we call him, he lives right across the street. He comes over, we go in, we look at the house. Perfect house. Exactly what we're looking for. That's where we live now, and it was a demonstration of how the consciousness of abundance, how we can use this. So I invite you to practice this consciousness of abundance in your life, and definitely come to Dr. John's class, because prosperity is all about abundance, right? So come, learn to practice abundance in your life and watch what happens. Today's core value is abundance. Thank you.
beautiful, JC. Thank you. All right, please make welcome back our beautiful vocalist, Miss Maylene So Free.
Thank you, guys. Good morning.
And I
Oh, I
forgot
love
to
it, I love it.
mention, we have a guest drummer today. His name is Ivan Zervagan. So make some noise for Ivan. Thank you. Take it away.
Talk to me. Alone in a room, it's just me and you. I feel so lost, 'cause I don't know what to do. What if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you. So I need to talk to you, ask you for your guidance, especially today when my mind feels so cloudy. Lord, guide me until I'm sure I open up my heart. Oh yeah. My hopes and dreams are fading fast. I'm all burnt out. I don't think my strength's gonna last. So I'm crying out to you. Oh Lord, I know that you're the only one who is able to pull me through. So I know I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my world seems just a little bit cloudy. Lord, guide me until I'm sure I open up my heart. So show me how to do things your way. Don't let me make the same mistakes over and over again. Your will be done, and I'll be the one to make sure that it's carried out. And in me, I don't want any doubt. That's why I want to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my world seems just a little bit cloudy. Lord, guide me till I'm sure I open up and my heart. I open up my heart. One word. I open up my heart. Open up my heart to you.
I have a little housekeeping I want to do before I get started on my message. Did everybody get one of those survey forms this morning? All right, good. If you still have it, fill it out and put it in the basket. And I'm the one that gets all those, and I'll let you know next week what you thought collectively. Because they're all anonymous. I don't want to know who said what. I just want to know kind of generally what you think on these ideas. So thank you for doing that. I have gratitude this morning that I am compelled to express. I want to give thanks to 4 individuals. They all happen to be male. But it is not lost on me how valuable so many of the women in this community are and how much they contribute. Just happens that this is 4 guys that have done things that are really important to me that I just want to acknowledge them for. And the first one is Juan Carlos. Thank you for your wisdom, your clarity, and for what you brought to this community last week. Yeah, thank you. The next one is Dr. Ferd Cabrera. It's been a couple of hard years, and you stepped up, and you kept this place going at times when there were questions. Thank you for the generous way you support this center with your time, your energy, your love, and your money. You're a real model of how to be in spiritual community, and I am very grateful for you. The next one is someone who's sitting in the back, always sits in the back. His name, you may not even know this man. His name is Stephen Braska. He's been spent, if you know Stephen, you know he walks with assistance, with a walker. He's got some issues with his knees and such, but that doesn't stop him from being productive. And one way he's been productive around here is that he's kind of redone this whole area along the outside of our sanctuary. And if you go out there and look, the first thing you'll say is the grass needs to be cut, and you'd be correct, because somehow our lawn care people didn't show up this week, but I'm sure they'll get that handled. But all of the beds are clean, trimmed, beautiful. And he trimmed back a palm that would otherwise have died. It may survive. And he planted a little tree. This is where he got me. I said, "What's the tree about?" And he said, "That's for Barbara." I know. And the fourth man I want to acknowledge today is a practitioner. His name's Drew Miller. On Friday, I got a call from Melissa. No, it wasn't Friday, it was earlier in the week. But it was one day last week, and I was not here. I was still in recovery from my surgery, which went very well, by the way. But I wasn't here, and he said, "There's a man who has come into the building with his bicycle. He's in distress. He's laying on the floor. What should I do?" And I said, "I'll find a practitioner." So I called Drew. I called a couple of others first, but they were out of town, and that's fine. But I called Drew, and Drew said, "I'll be right there." And he hung up the phone, and he came to the center, and he sat on the floor with this guy. And he connected with him. They found common ground. They made eye contact. And Drew prayed for him. And the man got up and went on his way. The police even showed up. But what Drew did made it all okay. He was doing the work of a practitioner. And I'm sure any of our practitioners would have done it, but this week, Drew, you did it. And that touches my heart. Thank you. So my message to you this morning is entitled, "The Truth of Life is Within You." The truth of life is within you. Sounds kind of lofty, but really it's very pragmatic. And I want to just start off with an idea of how we can use this to really make our lives work. Has anyone here ever backed into another object with your car? You don't have to admit it, but I'll tell you mine. 1972, 2016, and 2022. You'd think you'd learn from the first one, right? But I was a kid and I really didn't know any better. What happens when you're in your car and you back into something, you immediately get out to assess the damage, and of course there's damage. And I'm not even going to talk about the damage of whatever it is you ran into. But you've run into something and it has messed up your car. Two ways you can go with that. You can look at it and go, oh, that dent's pretty much right in the middle. I think I can live with that. You may have trouble opening your trunk, but you're just going to keep going, right? Of course, until the next time you do it or do something equally unconscious. That's one way to deal with it. The other way is, I got to get this fixed. Now, you can file an insurance claim, but trust me, it's better just to pay for it. Because you know what insurance costs are, especially when you've had an accident, even a little one like that. So you go to the auto body shop and they give you an estimate, $1,200. Huh. All right, go ahead and fix it. And they do. And it looks good again. It's like it didn't happen. The challenge at that point is, how do you not do it again? Do you take the time to say, what do I need to do differently in my life? And this is just an example. There are thousands of things we could apply this to. But you've gotten through it, and you want to go, oh, life's good, let's just keep going. No. Stop. Think about what happened. Think about what you were doing when it happened. Think about how you could do it differently to get a different result. This is going inward and finding the answers to those questions in our lives. Do you know people in your life who keep going through the same kind of crap over and over again? Yes, I said crap. I'm committed to that word. When I was in the 5th grade, I used the word crap with a group of my schoolmates, and it was at lunch, and they immediately went and told my teacher. I was put on the stage to eat my lunch in front of everyone in total ridicule because I didn't know it was a bad word. So from that, I say I use that word. So we have crap in our lives, things that happen. How do we not keep doing the same thing over and over again? The definition of insanity is when we do the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. Well, it doesn't work like that. You have to make a shift. And the first place you must make a shift is in your thinking, is in how you're living your life, how you're moving through the aspects of your life so that you don't do it again. I've gotten really good at looking at the monitor on my dashboard when I'm backing up. There's this interesting thing about backing up. You're using energy to back up. It's the same energy you use to go forward. There is not reverse energy. There is not bad energy or wrong energy. There's just energy and how you apply it. So it's not something to get angry about that your car got screwed up. What's to get clear about is, what am I going to do differently with my energy in the future? How am I going to live my life differently and not go through this relationship issue or this health issue or this money issue or anything else that's going on in your life and make those mistakes that I've made in the past? What do I do differently? The answer to that is within you. You don't have to go read a book, although books can be very helpful. You already know. When we learn things from books, basically what they're doing is reminding us of what we already know. Because the answer's there. And if we'll just slow down and go within and ask ourselves, we may not get an answer immediately, but we will get an answer. Much like finding a house. Yeah. It's always there. It's always there, and it's never the energy's fault. In fact, it's not even our fault. It was just an opportunity to learn something. So those of us that think now that we've done something bad, we have to live with that, and then as soon as we set that far enough back in our consciousness, we'll do it again. To remind us that we're bad. So the obvious answer to this is, no, I am not bad. I did make a mistake here. I made a misstep in my life, and I'm learning from it. And my intention is to do it differently the next time I have the opportunity, and I will, and so will you. That's the work. That's how we move into that better life, is by paying attention, not blaming, certainly not blaming the thing we ran into. I actually read a series of police reports about accidents, and some guy swore a tree ran into the middle of the road. Not wanting to take responsibility for your life, you know? There's all kinds of ways to do that. But we can learn from our actions. And we do this in a direct progression. We begin, these are the stages of mental evolution, and that's what we do. We are evolving mentally, and we start with the experience, the event, the thing that happened. And we assess that. We learn from it. We go through, we've messed it all up. But we let that go. Let it go, let it go. That doesn't help. What happened? Well, I was going backwards in a parking lot, and I was looking back instead of looking in the thing on my dashboard that will tell me what's back there. Because I've got a very high bed in my truck, and I can't see everything. But I can in the camera. So that was what I did that didn't work. I backed up and didn't look where I needed to be looking. And now I know to do that. That's the assessment. That's the second step, is that we assess not only the damage done, but the circumstances surrounding what happened. And we take responsibility for it. We learn from it. We learn so that we don't have to go through it again. I wrote a whole book called The Sorry Syndrome, because in our culture, we play this game of thinking that if we say we're sorry, we're off the hook. And that's absolute nonsense. Sorry means nothing. It simply means that we're sorrowful. Great. That helps. It doesn't change anything. And you've all heard that someone in your life, maybe it was you, say, hey, I said I was sorry. But truly, that's nothing. It's learning from the circumstance that makes the difference. And once we've learned from the circumstance, then we are prepared to have a different outcome. A different way that this thing works out, because we've changed. We've moved from a place that didn't work to a place that does. Now, does that mean we're never going to have an issue again? Of course not. But it means that we can use this formula in our lives anytime something doesn't go well, and start to analyze it and learn from it and adapt and change so that it doesn't have to happen again. I found that seems to be working now in my life, and I'm grateful for it. So hoping that it's not going to happen again will not affect it, will not help it. We must learn from our actions, and by doing so, we become aware of ourselves in the world. Everything that is happening outside of us is a reflection of what's happening inside of us. Exactly like the quote from Lao Tzu. It's that once you understand how the world works, you understand your role in it. And it all fits, and it all works. Most of us are still approaching that in our lives. And I want you to know that I believe we all should continue to work on it. That's why we read. That's why we come to classes. That's why we come on Sunday morning, to remind us so that we can have that good life that we absolutely deserve. It's all inside of us. The answers are there. They just need to come out. Some of them need to come out with a little drama. Okay. Some of them come out because we simply realize that that's a logical way to do it. Maybe somebody said something. Maybe it just came to us as we were waking up in the morning. However it works, be open to seeing things differently and relating to them differently and dealing with them differently, because they will make a difference. Our answers are within. The great spiritual teacher, Jesus, was absolutely clear about this. You know, the Christian church teaches that Jesus did miracles. Maybe, I don't know. But when it came to healing, He always turned it around on the other person. He said to the Roman centurion, it was his faith that was creating the healing in his son when he begged Jesus to come and heal his son. When the woman touched his garment as he walked through the crowd, he turned to her. Her issue is she had been bleeding for 12 years. We're not going into where she was bleeding. But somehow she was bleeding. He turned to her and he said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." That's in the book of Mark. He didn't say, you touched me and now you're healed, huh? No. He said, your faith has healed you. That's how it works. We have the power within us to heal and change anything. But we must be aware of what it is that we're calling to change. That's our work. That's our work, to wake up to whatever's going on within us. Dr. Holmes writes in this thing called You. Let me talk about this thing called You for a second. It was our book of the month this month. One of the questions on the survey is, how many of y'all are reading these books that we present as books of the month? I'm curious to see how we're doing with that, and I'm not blaming you at all. I just want to know where we are. But that's a great book, and I really encourage you to read that book. More people have said that's their favorite book by Ernest Holmes than any other, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading it again this month for these messages that I'm giving. So I encourage you to get that. In that book, he writes, here's a fine point in using the power within you. You must develop a spiritual awareness which is transcendent, which knows it is as easy for the truth to say, get up and walk, as it is for the tired man to say, lay down and rest. Think about that. Jesus is saying, and this is when he told the man that was unable to walk to get up and walk. And of course the man did. Did Jesus do that? He's saying no. He said this is easy. It's just as easy to tell him to get up as it would be for someone who's really tired to say just lay down and relax. It's the same thing. Wow, that's a different way of looking at it. So what is it that you're not doing because you think you can't? What is it you haven't achieved? Because somehow in your mind you think that's not possible. Well, I assure you that if it's not happening, the only thing that's in your way is you. And it's not a blaming, it's just a statement of fact. Most people do that. They set their limitations on what's possible, and they don't want to step outside of that line. Well, a few years ago, I got tricked. How many of y'all have been to a spiritual healing service where they were like hands-on? Ooh, a few of you have. This had to be in 1984 because I had not been at the center in Miami very long, when they invited a man named Willard Fuller. Big, tall, guy had to be 6'7". Long white hair, full white beard, spoke with a Louisiana accent. He had been a Baptist minister in Louisiana, very dedicated to that movement. And then he figured out that's not how it works, and they threw him out. Because he started doing these healing things. And they said, no, that hasn't been happening since the apostolic age. There are no more hands-on healings. We don't do that. But when he did it, it happened. And so that the day that he came to the Miami Center, I was sitting with a friend. They had told us to bring small mirrors and flashlights so that we could see in our mouths. I didn't bring them. But the woman sitting next to me did. She brought hers. So he got up and he talked for a good hour, telling stories of all these people that he had been with that had had these sudden healings. And where they were healed was in their mouths. They called him a dental healer, but he said, no, this is a full healing experience. We can identify the changes immediately in someone's mouth. So I sat there and listened to these great stories. God, one of them was about a woman that was wearing dentures, and she went to him, and he did his thing, and she said, it's not working. She called him the next day, it's not working. My dentures don't fit right. They hurt. And she called him the next day and she says, Worth, I can't even get my dentures in. And she called him the third day and said, I know why the dentures won't fit in my mouth. I'm growing new teeth. Okay. This was, obviously a woman of age. So we went through the thing, and the way it worked was that center was set up with a center aisle. And he had everybody in the room come down the center aisle. He was at the front, and he would touch the sides of their faces, right at their jawline, and say, in the name of Jesus, be thy every whit whole. In the name of Jesus, be thou every whit whole. And he was working it. In the name of Jesus, be thy every whit whole. In the name of Jesus, he would just go through this thing, and everybody in the room. So I was sitting like over in this area, and I did mine and went back to my seat. I had a funny taste in my mouth, and I had told the woman I was sitting next to that I only had one cavity, that I had perfect teeth, that my dentist had said I have a textbook mouth, one filling. So I said, let me borrow your mirror and light, and she did, and I looked, and there were 4 fillings there. And I started laughing with my mouth hanging wide open and a mirror. Because this made no sense to me. How did this happen? Now, while that's going on with me, there was a young boy, probably, I don't know, maybe 13 years old. He had a mouthful of fillings. He had all his teeth were going bad, and they were kept doing all these fillings. They looked in his mouth. All his teeth were perfect. They had no fillings. People asked me, "Do you get 4 of his?" I don't know what happened. I just know that he had that happen. I had mine happen. There was that was the big one in the room. The other interesting was we had class on Monday nights. So one of the women that was there on Sunday had these. You remember the railroad track braces? Her orthodontist had told her on Friday that she would have those the rest of her life. That they were just, her mouth was such a mess, at least it would take another 10 years to get her mouth right. She went and saw him on Monday. He said, I can't explain it, we're taking these things off your teeth right now. Your teeth are perfectly aligned. So she came into class on Monday night sobbing. So for years, I asked myself, how did that happen? And I went to, Willard and I became friends. We had him at our center in North Carolina a number of times. By then he was in his 90s. And I just couldn't quite wrap my mind around it. And one day, boom, I got it. We were doing it to ourselves. He was just suggesting this stuff to us, and we were having this happen to us because we had let down the possibility that it couldn't happen. And we were open to something happening. Now, it didn't happen to everybody in the room, but it happened to a bunch of people. Why? Because some of us, okay, this could happen. When it happens, it blows your mind. It's one thing to think it can happen. It's quite another to experience it. But I want you to know that what happened with Willard Fuller and teeth can happen to you by yourself, with yourself, anytime, any way. All you have to do is get out of the way and let it happen. The answer is there. We struggle in life by our own limiting thoughts. I invite you to join me in knowing that it does not have to be that way. You are the one in charge. You have the power. You can make it work. Sit with that this week and see where you may have a limiting thought that you can change. Life's calling you to that. And so am I. And so it is. God bless you. Great. So let's, if you're comfortable with closing your eyes, I invite you to just go within. Go to that place, that perfect place, and connect.
Every
There's a power within you that is greater than you can possibly imagine. Now, it may not look, this thing you create, exactly like you imagined, but it will be a perfect reflection of your consciousness. You have the ability to make all of your dreams come true. You have the ability to make your life work. The only thing you have to do is believe in yourself and believe in the God that dwells within you. You can learn from your missteps, and life will forgive you for anything you consider a transgression. It already has, and that never ends. Now you must do the same. Your work is to move in the direction of your greatest desires and see them happening right now. You are the light and the love of the world. All you have to do is be who you've come here to be, and all is well, because all is spirit, and so it is.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day.
God is all around.
And I'm thankful. And so it is. And I'm thankful. So it is. God is all around me.
Well done. Thank you.
What if it all depended on me to change the world, change the world? What if my only responsibility was to change the world, change the world? Let me be the one to start a revolution. Let me sing my song to the people of the world. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining the hundreds of millions of change the world. What can we do to make poverty history and change the world? Change the world. Let me be the one to start a revolution. Let me sing my song to the people of the world, to the children of the world. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining the hundreds of millions of people believing in one, the power of one. Don't hang around, stand up or sit down and believe we can change the world together. We can change the world together. Please don't close your eyes. Please don't turn away. Let your voices rise. Put love on display. Make a difference now. I believe you and me can make a difference now. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining the hundreds of millions of people believing one, the power of one. So don't hang around, stand up or sit down and believe we can change the world together. We can change the world together. We can change the world together. Oh, 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 oh. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining the hundreds of millions of people believe you and me can make it. You and me can make it. You and me can make it better together with one. You and me can make it. You and me can make it. You and me can make it better together with one.
Good day, eh? All right, so it's time for us to receive your gifts and your tithes. So if you would, prepare for that. And we want you to know that the law of circulation is very active in this center. What we give, we receive multiplied abundantly, and that's true for all of us in all aspects of our life, far beyond just money. We also have our wonderful TPL support group that support us through the mail, through direct deposits, through whatever it is that everybody does to make that happen. I'm very grateful to all of them. If you're on this list, please check and make sure your name is spelled correctly. We found some changes that needed to be made, and we've made them. But if there's more, we're glad to make them. So don't feel like you're stuck with whatever's up there. If you'd like to join the TPL program, you can go to the guest services, and there's a little form for you to fill out, and we would love to welcome you into that community. Those of you that give in the room, God bless you. However we give, it's good. Those of you at home that support this center, thank you. And if you don't, consider doing it. It actually costs a good bit of money to make this available to you online every Sunday, and your support helps make that happen. So whatever we do with a joyous heart. We make it work, and we let it be so. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand, but now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. This is what you had to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for the way you love this place. Thank you for the way you've stuck through it all and continue to open your heart. Thank you for making friends here. Thank you for learning something here. And thank you for giving to this center. That's the full circle of it all. And it makes a real difference. So bless you all for who you are and what you do. It's all good. It's all God. Yay. So I'm expecting there's going to be some wonderful practitioners and ministers in the room, and I want to invite them to please come up on the stage right now. These are the people that have again and again given themselves to this center. My story of Drew is just one example of the many things that these good people do all the time to support you and support me. So while they're coming up here, why don't we do our affirmation? You ready to do this? Okay, here we go. Everything I need to know to live a wondrous life is available to me now and always. That's the truth. Thank you all. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your work on so many levels, in so many ways, for holding this place in your heart no matter what. You do good work, and I am grateful. Yeah. Something's on your heart today that you can't quite figure out, these are the ones to go to. Come ask them. And the way I like for people to do that, or I suggest that we do, is say, know with me that. Know with me that my mortgage is paid. Know with me that my doctor's report is that I'm healthy. Know with me. And allow them to add their consciousness to yours to create the outcome that will work for you. And it will. It will. And so it is. Let's stand and sing.
Let's sing a final song. This is my wish.